Hello friends, you're the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm playing Rome Incorporated. And we're in the third turn, and it looks pretty much everything is quite under control. There's only a single war in the game. It's this one here, a German war, which is pretty strong, strength of 12. But we also have a lot of units here, and we got a strong governor, Germanicus. He's especially good in fighting the Germans. So it looks like things are going quite well. There was an issue here with the memory card of this, and so I ended up doing... I already played about 5 minutes of that turn before I realized that. So I basically started the event phase, and that wasn't so great. I ended up with, well, I was an assassin, but that was not a problem at all, because it is simply impossible. Caesar's intrigue ability and the prefect's intrigue ability, they add up to a 5. There is one emperor counter in the box, which is a 6. We can subtract 1 for the Praetorians, which is a 5 again, and you roll a single die, add a 5, and if you come to a 12, that would be it. But so it's basically impossible. Caesar will not die because of that assassination. We have the Conquest here, and because there is already a Conquest there because of the Augustus special ability, that means it's a double, and that means annex an extra province after each triumph. And the bad thing is this one here, remove half the gold. We have again inflation from the treasury, rounded up. Now I'm sitting here on 129 bucks, so I'm going to lose 65 bucks, which is really, really bad. I mean, that is really terrible. But okay. And in addition to that, we gotta add +1 to the taxation, which makes it even more unlikely that we will earn a lot of money. So that's all not so great. So next, we're gonna do the mortality check. And we start with Augustus, and he survives, barely. Then we got Agrippa. Ah, fuck it, he dies. That's bad, but okay. Germanicus is fine, which is good. Otto, nah, he survives. And Plautius, and he's also fine. So we lost Agrippa, which is a shame. We lost our consul, and we'll see. Maybe we'll find another one which is good. But Agrippa was pretty good, I think. So we got to do another assassination if the Julian Emperor is in the box. Now that is the case, but as we already checked, it is not going to happen. No, there's no danger here. Support, no. Treasury phase. Okay, now we got to do all the taxing, and yeah, that kind of sucks. We got to subtract 1. We got to add 1, so that's not good at all. Okay, so just for the demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the provinces right here. And if a province is doubles, I'm going to place a cube there instead of taking it immediately out of the treasury, out of the bank, just that you can see it easier. So the thing is, we got to add Caesar's ability of 5 and the governor's administration ability together, and then we got to add another one and subtract. We got to add 1 to the die roll and subtract the sum of these two values, and if that is 0 or less, this thing is doubled. So Spain, we basically can roll a 6, and yeah, fuck it. That's exactly the point. That's exactly that single 1 point that comes from the inflation, and I'm afraid we see that more often. So the next one, okay, I started here. I have no idea why I started here. Let's do Italia next. Similar thing, we need a 6. Fuck it. Yeah, great, great. That's a 7 again. Fantastic. Okay, this one here we need a 5. Britannia is actually not. Let's do Africa. That's a 6 again. Okay, we don't get that one either. Here we have a pretty good chance. This is Germanicus. So that is overall a 9. So that means we can roll an 8. And at least this time we did it. So we get the money from Gallia, and that's not so bad. We get that doubled. I mean, we get the money from everywhere, but this is going to be doubled, which is good. Egypt is again a 6. And this time we make it. Pretty good. Pannonia is just a 5. And we do it. Awesome. It's a shame that we didn't make Italy. Syria is a 6. Not this time. Wow, we would have made a lot of income. It would have been a 7. But the inflation really killed us. This is a 6 again. Mysia. And we did it. And the last one is Pontica. And that can be a 7. Okay. So there we go. So Egypt, Gallia, Pannonia, and Mysia are doubled. And the rest we get just once. And I'll let you know how much it is at the very end. Okay, so even though we had the inflation, we have 217 bucks. That is not too bad. We're going to have to pay 91. So that means we're sitting now on 126. And now we're going to move the wars, and this is going to be that guy. And he's going to move into here. And I'm pretty sure that he will not move on. I can check that, but pillage chart. It's not an insurgent province. No, he's not going to move on. That's for sure. And then we're going to draw additional war counters. 1 for the scenario, 1d3 minus, but we subtract 1 from the die roll. Okay, that is a 4, die roll of 4, so it's only going to be 2 plus 1, so it's going to be 3 additional wars. That's actually something. 1, 2, and let's take this one. 3, okay. So let's see what we find. Okay, that one is, holy moly, another German war. These guys are really pretty aggressive. Right here. This is a British war. That's not good. And a Moorish war. That's pretty weak, but I'm clearly not prepared for that. Okay, yeah, not too great. There's going to be a lot of trouble here in this area here. We're probably going to lose these allies, but okay. So what can we do now? Let's see. Let's go on. We're going to move these suckers, of course. So let's start with this one. He's going to move in here. And now let's check if he's going to move on. So it's a veteran ally, so it's a -2. So if we roll a 6, it continues moving. And that's happening. Look at that. We rolled a 6. And maybe that's not even so bad, because he's kind of surrounded now by other ones. He cannot move in here. He's going to move in here. Oh, to Belgica. We're going to need a lot of troops there. I think he's gonna follow that straight. Let's do this one here. It goes in here. Now we're gonna roll, and I guess it's also gonna be a 6 that we're gonna have to roll here. And nope, that one stays here. And wait a minute, the last one. That German one, and I'm pretty sure that one will move down here. And again we will roll. And that's a 4, so that one stays here. Yeah, great. That's not so good. We got a lot of trouble here. 3 wars. So that's gonna be rough. Okay, we go to the Unrest Phase. Unrest will increase by 4 for each war. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, overall by 4. Let's see if there's a legion icon without a legion. I don't see it. I think we're fine. There should be 1 Praetorian Guard in here. Well, that is not the case, so this goes up another step. What about the fleets? This fleet is back here. So we got 1, 2, these 2 fleets. And I think this is it. So another 2. So we got an unrest of 9 right now. And the grain, there is 1 grain in an insurgent province right here. So that's another one. 10. Okay. And now we come to the Statesman. And let's see what that gives us. 1d3. That's 3 Statesmen. I guess that's good. So we're going to take this guy, and this guy, and this guy. So we have Tiberius. That is pretty good. We're going to need a consul, so we might make him consul. Sejanus. And Vespasian. Now look at that. Okay. So Tiberius is a pretty good fighter. Well, we'll see. Okay, so Augustus is still Caesar. We got Vespasian as a consul here with his high popularity rating, which I think helps. Here we have still Germanicus sitting in Gallia to fight the Germans. Otto with his, well, kind of administration rating to improve Mercia a little bit. I took a strong military leader to Spain because I want to finally end this insurrection here. I sent this guy to Africa. I'm not sure if I actually want to use him to fight a war. I think I'm going to ignore this war for this turn and leave this guy to the Allies for now. And I also have a strong military leader in Egypt to end that insurgency over here. So that's the plan. I think I'm going to focus on these wars here. There's a lot of trouble here, and I can still do the Moorish war in the next turn. That's guess that's the plan for now. Wasn't there another war somewhere? Yeah, of course, that's true. There were 3 wars here. Wow. I mean, I cannot fight all three of them. Maybe I should fight the Moors anyway. But then I probably want a better leader there. But then again, if I can end the insurance here, the insurgents, I don't know why I always say insurance. If I can send the end the insurgents here in Spain, basically these troops are freed and I can send them somewhere else. So that might be helpful too. So now I can annex a province, and I think what I want to do is I want to actually annex this. It might sound crazy, but that makes it easier for me to control this. And I want that grain. It gives a good amount of income if we can get that. So I think I want to make these guys allies. Arabia. And that gives me a point. Okay. Decrease prestige, well, that's not happening. Increase prestige by the combined administration abilities of the Caesar and Consul. So that is 9. So it goes up to 75. And decrease unrest by the combined popularity. That is 7. So that means unrest goes down to 3. I'm not going to pay for bread and circuses. And now we're going to try to bring our armies in a better position. And I think I'm going to ignore that war down here. What I might consider is placing a couple of guys here to stop it from continuing its move. But I think it's questionable. Maybe it's not even moving out of here next turn, because these guys, the worst thing that can happen is they might become allies instead of veteran allies. So, you know, we'll see. I mean, it might also move here, by the way. That's another option. We'll see. Okay, so here's the plan. These 4 spaces here, the north of Gallia is totally maxed out. And in addition, we got a lot of veteran legions. So I want to fight here from, what is that? Lugdunensis and Belgae. I want to fight that British war. And with this Germania Inferior and that one here, Germania Superior, we're going to fight that German war. And I'm going to use Germanicus as a leader to fight that stronger German war. We also got the fleets, 2 for that, 1 for that. And we cannot split up, by the way, our troops. Each troop has to fight, each space has to fight a specific war as a whole. Here are enough to kind of make the Diro obsolete. We can't simply make these loyal provinces. Same down here. So I just played it safe, and the same here. The only questionable thing is over here. I'm not sure if I get this thing loyal, but we'll find out about that soon. And this is pretty much it. And now we got to roll for the unrest. I'm pretty sure there is no danger here. We got an unrest of 3. Imperial, that's a 4 then. And Praetorian Guard. Oh no, that, what? Oh, that's it. Okay, so we're not going to roll 25 that way. I think, yeah, it's not going to happen. So no reason here to make that roll. And now we go through the Revolt Phase, and after that into the War Phase. So as I said, here, for example, there are 3 troops in here. The only modifier is a +1 here because it's an insurgent army. And this guy has already a 4 military rating. So we add 1 and then we subtract 3. And if we reach 4 or less, then this becomes Roman. And obviously, even if we rolled a 6, which would be the worst possible scenario, this thing would become Roman. The same thing happens here. So that means now that the insurgency in Spain is over, thanks to this strong military leader Plautius. And the same thing is going to happening now here. It made it easier that there are allies here now. This is all kind of isolated. And this is now also a loyal Roman province. Awesome. And the same thing is going to happen right here in Illyria. And just have to remember that I did that. But oh, and these were actually 1, 2, 3, 4 additional 1, 2, 3, 4 Romanization things. Okay, and now let's find out if there are any tricky situations where we might lose some allies. So we were lucky here. They stayed veteran allies. We were not so lucky here in Britannia, which kind of sucks. They become allies instead of veteran allies. The same, and that was pretty clear, was here in Germania Magna. Sadly, we didn't manage to get rid of the insurgency here, but that was also something that is not too big of a surprise. This stays allied, which was lucky, Bosporus. And we lost, however, some allies here. Palmyra is now a barbarian province, and that is not terribly good because that makes Syria now a little more vulnerable. But I think this was pretty much it there. And then we go into the war phase, and we're going to fight these two wars over there. I'm going to start with a stronger one, and I'm going to roll a die. And I don't really know what I have to roll, but it has to be terribly bad to lose. I'm going to use Germanicus. We have, I don't know, there's a massive modifier here, but still, you know, things could go wrong, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, that is not great, because that is a stalemate because of these two here. That sucks. If these are the same, the two white dice are double. Allocate losses equal to the red die and promote one unit used to fight the war to veteran. Ignore if the commander has a matching war special ability. That is Germanicus. Awesome. So we managed to do that. We managed to destroy that war. It clearly becomes a triumph. And yeah, that's just great. So let's do all this. This goes to Germanicus. And yeah, let's see what we can do. We can annex, I think, 3 provinces now, because one for the victory, one for Caesar, and an extra one after each triumph because of the Conquest event. That is pretty awesome. The only problem is there might be not enough provinces left here. However, we might get these 2 veteran allies. And there's also Frisia. We cannot do that. But still, it could be really an option to actually do this. I'm not totally sure, but I think that I fight this war technically simultaneously to the other one. I'm not sure about that. Otherwise, that would affect... no, it wouldn't. Doesn't matter. So anyways, I'm going to make this... I can do this 3 times. So I can make this technically an insurgent province. Don't want to do that. Well, I think right now, not yet. I'm going to make these veteran allies. Remember, I can only do it in the same command. I cannot do it somewhere else. And I'm going to make these allies. And then if I win the next war, I can still make these guys veteran or insurgent provinces or whatever. Okay, and that gives me obviously 3 additional of these. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. And I also get some money. I think it was 4 times. This guy has a 4, and I think I get 4 times 12. That would be awesome. Okay, then we're going to fight the British right here. I hope that's not going to be so bad. It's not a strong war, so shouldn't be a problem here. But that's not good, because this is again a stalemate with high losses. That's not good at all. And this time, Germanicus couldn't fight it. So that kind of sucks. That means we can promote 1 unit. But this is pretty much it. The war stays where it is. And obviously, that really sucks. And we're going to lose. We got to allocate 6 losses. That is a lot. That was very, very bad. So in the end, that wasn't so great. Got a check now for the rebellion. I doubt that Germanicus will try a rebellion, but it is possible. He's got a popularity of 5, which is a lot. We got an unrest of 3, so that's 8. 9 for the Emperor's counter. Each 2 veteran legions. That's kind of a tricky thing here, because there's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 2. Oh god. Okay, again, so that's 2, that's 7. 8, 11, okay, minus 4, so that brings it down to 7, and I think now, if we, I mean, if we roll an 18, there would be a rebellion. Okay, that's not the case. I wish that would have been my result for the war. But okay. And then that is pretty much it. We're done with this turn. And next one is turn 4. Nice. And I think I'm going to upload this one here. I'm not sure how long it was. Actually, I think it wasn't terribly long. You know what? I think I'm going to go for a second turn. And before I'm actually going to upload that. I made a stupid mistake. I didn't know why. I didn't see that. See, there is someone here to fight the British. But then again, I can only allocate 1 governor to a place. So, and this is the guy who fights the Germans. So, I think it was okay then. Okay. So, and that's in the next turn, and we got 3 events this time. The Barbarians, the starting Conquest event, and we got a plague. Demote a veteran unit in each command, plus 1 unrest for each command unable to demote. Okay, so I'm going to do that here, obviously, and I think we have to do it here, which sucks. Or maybe not. Nope, not here. So that means we only have, I think, a single veteran unit here. And they're all there. So we cannot demote another one, which means we're going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 unrest here. We're going to take that. So that means unrest goes up to 12. That is bad. That is really bad. This is terrible. Okay, and then we can annex a province, and I think I want to annex Britain. I just want to make sure that these guys stay our allies and that we do not get any problems there. Okay, I realized I made a mistake. When I did defeat that war, you can only annex a province that is connected to that war or the same province. So I did annex this one. I couldn't do that. So this stays Barbarian instead. I thought I could take any province of the command, but that seems not to be possible. And but what I could have done is instead I could have made that, for example, I could have simply promoted that to Allied, because this is connected. Doesn't say it has to be the same command. So this, I will instead annex this one. And now I'm going to annex, in my Conquest action, I'm going to annex, I think I actually want to annex this one again. Oh, I can't do that because there's a war in here. That's not possible then. So, maybe one down here instead. That's a tough call. You know what? I think I'm going to annex this one. Palmyra. I'm going to make that an ally again. That takes the pressure a little bit away from Syria. And I think that might help. Especially now that we have barbarians, that makes things even harder. Okay. And yeah, I did that already, the plague. So now we do a mortality check. And there's a lot of statesmen here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the first one. Second guy. Third. Okay, that guy dies. That is bad. That is Germanicus. That really sucks. He was a good guy. And he dies. Otto. Plautius. Plautius also dies. Shit. Not good at all. Okay, so we lost 2 good commanders, and we might also lose now Augustus, because we do an assassination and the unrest is at 12. That's pretty bad. So let's see. I'm afraid that is very likely that Augustus might die now. So the 2, this is a 6, no actually that's a 5, the 2 intrigue abilities, plus the Emperor's counter is a 6. Oh, the unrest doesn't matter actually. That's pretty cool. So it's only a 5. So no problems here. I thought it's about the unrest, but that is not important then. We're good. No problems at all. Very good. And there we go. We go into the Treasury Phase. So we were extremely lucky. I think except for Pannonia, and I think maybe even only for that, except for that, we basically doubled everywhere. So we're sitting here on 376 bucks. We got to pay 89. But we got a ton of money here. So the Treasury Phase was extremely successful. And now we're going to move the wars. And we'll see where this one goes here. It probably will not move at all because I guess it's stuck here. I'm pretty sure about that. 5. I don't think it can actually move. Nah, it's not gonna move. But that one probably will. Let's see. That's a 6. That will definitely move. So it might either go here or there. So let's roll a die there. Okay, so it goes right here. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what should have happened. Okay, so this guy sits there now. It's a very similar situation as before, except that they are more in isolation now because there's so many allied areas around that, which makes it easier for me. But the bad thing is we got to draw. Oh, and down here we got to roll again. That is a 2 now. This guy won't move. He will stay there. I'm pretty sure about that. Let's see. It's a pillage, migration, insurgent, allied province -2. Nah. So he's going to stay there. The allies do a good job there, keeping that war away from us. And then we have to draw more wars. Okay, that is a 3 minus 1 is 2, so that's going to be 1 more war and an additional one for the scenario. So let's take this one and that one, I guess. Okay, now this is a leader. Vologazes. I have no clue where this guy comes from, but let's find the matching shield. He's here with the Parthians. Okay, so if we find a Parthian war, this guy will come into play, except if he dies before that. Oh, look at that. Now that is not great. We got a second Moorish war. So we got to take care of these guys. And there might be a cascade now or something. These guys might move again. They will move out here and then they will move away from there. That's for sure. Okay, now that this war moved in here, we immediately have to move that war out of this province, and then we got to move that war again, which might actually trigger the war, the other war to move again. There might be now some kind of cascade or something going on. But first, let's see. This war goes either here or there. I think there is no movement chart. Yeah, okay, we gotta roll a die. 1 to 3, it will go here. Otherwise, it goes to Africa. So the war moves actually here. Okay, great. Now this war, let's see if it will continue moving. A 5. The pillage chart. I really doubt it, to be honest. It's not an insurgent province. It's a veteran ally, so we can subtract 2. So it's not going to move. So basically we got 2 wars now. One sitting here, the other one sitting here. Okay. And that was, I think, this move war step. And we're done with the Treasury Phase. No, we're not. Yeah, we are. We are. These two are stuck. Yeah. Pretty sure they are. Yeah, they are, definitely. Okay, so now we go to the Unrest Phase, and things might get a little uncomfortable now. We have 4 additional, so this goes up to 16. We have 2 fleets here. Do we have any legions somewhere? Any legion symbols without a legion? I don't think so. So that seems fine to me. Okay, great. And the grain is now also better because we control now the grain here. So that is all fine. And we can reduce the unrest. Well, before we do that, we got to bring in additional statesmen. 2 of them, which is good. So let's take this one and that one. Okay, this is Silvanus. And that is Vitellius. So I made Tiberius my new commander in Gallia. Silvanus, also with a strong military ability in Africa. And I made Vespasian a prefect. He's got a good administration ability, which gives me a better chance to double Italy. So I think we're good. And also in Spain, I got a guy with a good Sejanus, with a good administration ability. Okay. So that was that. Now we can annex another province somewhere. That is a little tricky. Where do I want to do that? Okay, I think I want to annex this one here. Make that an insurgent province. No, I cannot do that. It has to be a veteran first. Maybe I should make it a veteran ally instead. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I'm going to make that a veteran ally. And then maybe in the next turn, we'll see what happens there, but maybe that helps. Okay. So we're good with that. And the next thing I can do is I can decrease prestige. Nope. Increase prestige by the combined administration of the Caesar and the consul. That is 8. And because this guy says prestige, it's a special ability, I can do another one. So that's 9 overall. So I'm at 96. And decrease unrest by the combined popularity, Caesar and consul, that is 7. So this goes down to 11. Holy shit, that's still pretty painful. And now I can pay for bread and circuses. And you know, I think I want to do that. I got a lot of money here, so I don't want to risk too much. I think I want to bring it down to a 5 or something. Sounds reasonable. Let's see what the revolution chart says, or the unrest chart here. Would be that would be a +1. Okay, it's basically a +1 as a modifier, and we need a 25. So that means, let's say we roll an 18 if things go really bad. We want to bring this thing down. I want to bring it down to 5. I think then I'm pretty safe here. So if I pay $60 for every one I bring it down, it's $10. So I'm going to pay $60. We got the money, more than we need, and then we're safe. You know, it's fine. I'm not going to take any risks. I'm so rich, I can easily do that. Pay for bread and circuses. And now we're going to build and transfer units, and then I'm going to do the unrest check. Okay, so the idea is to fight this war here, the Moorish war, and I'm going to fight these 2 wars. So yeah, I'm going to ignore that one for now. It's hard to fight, right? I could do it only from here, but that is a pretty bad idea, I guess. Okay, so yeah, now we're going to do revolt checks, But before we do that, we got to do the unrest check. So, okay, that's fine. There's no doubt here. The revolt, well, we'll see. Some might be a little interesting. The problem is we have the barbarians now. And that is an issue because that will add 1. So the ones that are usually totally safe may now convert if you have a 6, for example. Things like that can happen now. Okay, so during the revolt phase, this one went from loyal Roman to insurgent, that one from insurgent to loyal Roman. That one was an ally, that's now barbarian. That one became a standard ally instead of a veteran ally. That one too here. The war obviously didn't help here. And we lost also that faraway ally, the Barbarians. That was something that I expected. Apart from that, they stayed strong. They stayed with us. We were lucky here. And that's pretty much it. Okay, and now we do the wars. And again, we're pretty much everywhere maxed out, I think. Maybe I should have checked that before, if it's here. Fuck. I forgot to hire these 2 guys. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so that cost me another 10 bucks. I thought they were there, but now that I check it. Okay, so now we can do the attack on that war, and just let's see what happens. That looks very good. That's definitely a triumph. We have a massive modifier, so we managed to kill that war. Pretty cool. Let's try the other one. No, let's do that for now. We have only a single loss, which is also great. I'm going to destroy 2 auxiliaries, and that's it for that war. Okay, let's fight that second war here, the British. And that looks also very good. We got a 12. Yeah, I mean, we got a massive modifier here. We can just go through the rules quickly. The base strength, if a 7, that's the war strength, a 7. Each homeland occupied by a war. Now, I assume that war next to it counts. So that is an 8 then. I don't know how much we can subtract. An insane amount. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't know, man. 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. So we are already at -8. And we have, oh boy, 1 allied province is a -9 then. Okay, we don't even have to. Obviously, this is a victory. And that means now the British are also destroyed. And it's kind of tricky. Did this guy fight the war? I don't think so. I think he fought only 1 war, so I'm going to remove that. And that means that Gallia is free of wars. And this is a 7. So we get... Yeah, it's another good question. 7 times. He didn't fight the war. Do we get anything? That's tricky. So here's what I don't get. If Tiberius already fought here, he cannot fight again. That is in the rules. A commander can only fight a single war. But who is fighting the other war here? Now, I'm not sure about that. I find that very odd. Is it only possible to fight a single war per turn in a province? That would obviously be a big disadvantage then. Or, I don't know. I find it really strange, to be honest. I cannot answer that. I don't know. Maybe that is the case, which would suck. Then I couldn't do it. I cannot say that. but that could be actually the case. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I will actually place this guy here. Keep that war here. I don't know if this is actually true, but you know, thematically it kind of makes sense. We already fought a war here, so I mean, I know there are emperors who can also fight wars. In that case, that would be pretty cool, but I think Augustus is none of them. I think it has to be some specific emperor, the Illyrian emperors or something. So, yeah, this is clearly an issue here. Commanders, leaders, that's not it. Caesar. He may only fight wars if Flavian emperors is in the box. And he can fight an extra war if Illyrian emperors is in the box. Okay, great. So, I don't think I can. The consul may not fight. And the prefect is the governor of Italia. I don't know. You know, I think actually I can only fight a single war per turn. I cannot find anything else. It kind of sucks for me, obviously, but still it helped to destroy that war, and the other one shouldn't be too hard to do either. Now let's do the one down here. We're going to attack from the Balears and from Africa here. Let's see what that does. And that is not great, but it's a 12, and I'm fine, I guess. This thing only has a 5. Let's go through the war table quickly. That's a 5. Homeland +2 because it's a matching homeland. That's a 7. An allied province. That's a 6 again. And it's another connected allied province, so that's a 5 again. Then we got, so we are, the war is 5 right now. The commander has a 4, so it's 1. And then we have all these guys here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I mean, that is obvious. We get a 9 with that, so we're good. We destroyed that war here too. That's a 5. That's not terribly awesome. It's $15, but it helps. And we get 3 prestige. 1, 2, 3. This goes, unrest goes down to 0. And I guess that's it. Oh no, of course, we can annex a province, and we can do that twice because, yeah, because of Augustus. So we're going to annex Numidia and make this an insurgent province now. Okay, great. And that allows us to move in here, and then in the next turn we can attack that war from here and from Cartanensis. And we got to allocate 5 losses though. That's not so great, so we're going to take a couple of these. We're going to promote one of these guys, considering killing another auxiliar. No. Okay. So then we're going to take 5 losses. We already took 1. I'm going to take 2 unrest. That brings it to 3. And I'm going to pay another $20. So there are all kind of penalties you can do to get rid of your losses, right? You can pay money, you can take loss of prestige, you can take unrest, you can dismiss units, all kinds of things. Okay, so we're done with the wars then, I guess. And now we go into the rebellions. So there was no rebellion here, and that's it. So we go into the next turn, and now I'm going to load this up. I mean, things are obviously looking good here. The wars are pretty much under control. The bad ones here are gone, the 12 and the 10, only that single one is left. And that one shouldn't be such a big problem either. So it seems like, yeah, it's a pretty solid situation here. Hope to see you in the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.